Jerusalem. While most of Israeli hostages kidnapped by Hamas during October 7 terrorist attack in southern Israel were released within scope of ceasefire agreement signed through USQatar-Egypt. Horror stories that took place for more than 50 days continue. Captivity is slowly coming to light. Instead, the usual chatter, crying and laughing, typical pediatric wards. Dr. Yael Mozer Glassberg is part of specially assembled team professionals. Mozer Glassberg, who usually heads the hospital's liver transplant unit, said that so far he and his team have been working with 22 hostages, including 15 children, who were released in a specially created ward. Hamas terrorists are using the release of Israeli hostages in a psychological wargame. While most of the returned hostages appear physically stable, many have lost up to 15% of their body weight during captivity, and all are afraid to speak out after 50 days with terrorists. They are currently being hugged and embraced by family members and the psychosocial medical team. Mozer Glassberg said, "At this stage it is too early to discuss the outcome of their experience." The revelations came as Israeli authorities asked hostages and their family members not to share detailed details about time they spent in the hands Palestinian terrorist groups. Out of concern for safety, approximately 170 people currently held in Gaza. What has happened so far shows sheer brutality and inhumanity of the kidnappers, especially towards toddlers, young children and elderly. Deborah Cohen, the aunt of 12-year-old Eitan Yahalomi, who was released on Tuesday, told French TV Channel BFM that terrorists forced her young nephew at gunpoint to watch raw video footage of the horror they carried out in October. "This is the kind of horror movie no one wants to see," she said. "They forced her to watch. And if she or any of the other children cried, the terrorists threatened them with a gun to keep them quiet." Cohen also explained that Yahalomi, who was kidnapped without his family from his home in Kibbutz Nir Oz on October 7, was put on the back of a motorcycle by terrorists and taken to Gaza through the violated border fence. As he was walking him through the streets, people came out and started taunting him and beating him. She said, "I wanted to hope that he would be treated well there. But apparently not. They are monsters," Cohen said, adding that Yahalomi's father, Ohad, was still a hostage. For the first 16 days he was left alone in a closed room. Yahalomi's grandmother Esther told Israeli media, "Imagine for yourself what he went through there," she said, adding that he was later brought together with a group of hostages from his kibbutz. It was much easier for her to go there because her babysitter from the kibbutz nursery was there, the grandmother said, describing how she had become thin and now refused to smile. In another rare statement, Thomas Hand, the father of 9-year-old Emily Hand, told a media outlet,